Welcome back, everyone, to this week's Tarot Tuesday readings. I'm so happy you're here to join me for this week's readings. I've chosen 3 cards for you from my Druid Animal Oracle deck. For reading number 1, we have the Bull. For reading number 2, we have the Horse. And for reading number 3, we have the Dog. And I just want you to take a moment now to call all your energy back to yourself. Take that nice deep breath into your heart space and just feel yourself grounding and landing here in this moment now, and see which card or cards draw you in. And I look forward to seeing you in the readings. Reading number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose the card Bull, and I've actually chosen a Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle for you to go with this card. And this is the rune Hagelas. And the animal that is on this, or the familiar that's on this card, is the scorpion. And it's really interesting energies, because I really noticed with the Bull that sort of looking back in anguish and almost fear. It's almost like there's perhaps some testing times that you're going through, or you're just about to go through. I feel like you know about these testing times, and the Bull definitely is here to offer you strength and inner strength, and to know that any material manifestation that you want comes from the strength of your and wealth in your heart and your soul first, and that will then create the manifestation that you're after. So if you've been going at that backwards and trying to create material wealth and things for yourself, first, it's really, this is about stepping into your heart and soul first, and then moving into the material expansion, that reality in front of you. Hagelas is, it's so it can sort of this sort of thing where it's a destructive force, but it's a good destructive force. So the testing times or the challenges that you might be going through may be something that is actually going to, it's going to break down everything that's in your way for manifesting, creating what you want in your future. And even just sort of manifesting, creating the life that you want from your heart and soul, not from your fears and doubts and, from the energy that isn't helpful. Let's see what the other cards have to say for you. I'm going to bring out the hummingbirds straight away, because the hummingbirds have arrived here, which is so nice. So let's see what they have to say for you. Magic in the air. Stay alert for the signs, synchronicities, and messages guiding your flight path. So through the challenges, you are being guided. There's new information. It's going to open new doors into new possibilities. So you've got to allow that concept to come through to you and not feel trapped by the challenge that's in front of you. Let's see, I'm going to draw a few from... Get a good load of cards first and we can see. Oh, I don't want all of those though. Let's see what's happening here. I'm very enthusiastic for you. Here we are. And one from this deck as well, I think. 2 from this deck. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted. Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely. I told you there was like this manifestation, abundance energy around you. The abundant universe will provide. And it's if you're coming from a space of lack or a space of I feel like what is really coming through here is if you're stuck in your material mind, not believing in the magic in the world, believing that you are restricted and that you're limited by, external forces around you, your material world. And material world is like your real world, the people, the jobs, the lifestyle, the houses you live in, it's like, it's all those things. And when you are stuck in that material mindset, you don't always see the magic that's out there. You don't hear the signs. You don't see the signs. Sorry, you don't hear signs. Well, you might hear them or see them. You don't get that messages that are guiding you because you're stuck in like a mindset that isn't helpful. So this, I feel like you really tune into your heart, because the abundant universe will provide. And I also feel that perhaps your limitation is feeling that if you get something, that it takes away from someone else. This nothing is wasted. It feels a little bit like you should only get to pick the ends off of the abundance. You shouldn't get the full abundance. It's everyone else is more worthy of it than you. And perhaps this is the challenge and the test that you're going through, is changing your mindset about your worthiness and about your ability to receive. Let's see what else we've got here. We have Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. We have Earth Core, Sacred Fire, beginnings. And we have Cedar, Sacred Medicine, protection. Definitely connect with your emotions. I think that's where you're going to find the answers to any questions you have over how to move forward. So when you connect with your emotions, you'll see which emotions are kind of restricting you or kind of driving you in a way. And this will allow you to see more clearly your path, be able to see the signs, be able to know how to move through the challenges that are in front of you. Really use your mind wisely. I can't emphasize that enough. Because you're about to step into a new beginning, and it's like the fire, this molten, it can feel a little bit harsh, because I feel like the challenges, the tests are stripping away things that have been getting in your way, including your own mind. And it can feel, like molten lava, just extreme heat and very uncomfortable. But just know that you're protected when you do this, and that you'll know how to move through the energies. You're deeply connected to the earth. Remember to stay grounded and rooted. That's a new word, rooted. Grounded and rooted. And that will help you to feel into what to do next. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say for you. Here we are. Let's see what we've got here. Judgment. I'm going to put that right with the Hagglass here, because I feel like some of it is how you're judging yourself. And that's, changing your concept of what you can see as your future. We have the Hermit. So there's definitely, you're being guided. The Hermit is a lot about being guided. The Hermit, as you can feel, is a lot about being spending that time to get yourself in alignment with yourself, that connecting with your emotions. We have Justice. There's definitely a lot of disruption and challenges and tests. And this is about coming into balance. That's how you're going to find that forward motion with the Knight of Cups. It's like the possibilities are in front of you. You're being guided. You're being shown the way. Yeah, you have to trust yourself. Trust that everything's going to work out for you, that you're going to have new ideas and new inspirations, and new movements, new thoughts, new mind. The swords are a lot about your mind. So, when you change your mind about how things are, that's how you're going to move forward. I've just noticed the lion in here, the little lion face. I'd never seen that before, just down in here. So there's strength in there, and there's actually strength here, because that's what you're going to find is your inner strength behind the mind, and like going through the challenges is going to bring out a whole new you. But that's only when you allow yourself to shift in the way that is helpful for you. It feels like perhaps you have been, or you're about to, or are going through quite a testing, challenging time. But it feels like you're just on the cusp of moving through into a new beginning. But this is just about shifting your mindset about it all. reading number 1. This is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome, reading number 2. You chose the card Horse, and I've chosen a Witch's Familiar runic card for you, which is Uruz and the Bull. And the horse energy that it's bringing here, you can see there's movement. It feels like there's going to be movement in your world. So if you've been feeling a bit stuck, there's going to be some movement. That might be travel, and that might be in the physical world. So you might be about to go traveling, or about to travel somewhere, or have a holiday, or just there's definitely sort of a sense of there's some movement in your life, even if it has felt a bit stuck. The horse goddess is the patroness of the complete life cycle, birth, death, the afterlife, and rebirth. And so I do get a sense that if someone's had a death near, you've lost someone near you recently, or even in the past, and it still sits with you a lot, I feel like that you're going to grow more comfortable with the concept of death. So whether that is you have lost someone, or you're afraid of death or dying, or that concept, it feels like you're going to, reach a new beginning with that feeling. And, with the strength of Uruz is a lot about strength, power. It really feels like it's going to shift your world, and you're going to feel a lot better about all of that. It's the Uruz is a sign of great energy and health. So I just feel like that you're shifting into something better. So if you've been feeling like everything seems all is lost, hopeless, that there's going to be some changes, this movement, and it's for your benefit. It's going to be good. It's just formulating a better version of yourself, someone who can really connect with the land and the sky and everything around you. Just bringing that energy of knowing that you are guided and protected, and you have a great inner strength, you have great support when things shift, and the shift is for your benefits, for your good. And whether that shift is you're forced to travel, or suddenly you've got to travel, it feels like that movement is going to help you shift a lot of things that have got stuck inside you. Let's see what the hummingbirds have to say. The hummingbirds turned up this week, so I thought I'd bring them into the reading. Oh yeah, very fortuitous. So we've got clear skies ahead. Sorry, excuse me. The storm has passed, dear one. Let the rays of the sun warm your feathers as you welcome in the bright new day. So good fortune is coming. The sun is shining on you. There's, I see the ruins in the background. It's like the ruins, and I almost got the sense of like an old graveyard as well. So it's almost like the past is behind you now, and you're moving into the light in the future. It's very rainbow light. I just feel like all the colours, the iridescence, all the good is coming to you that you have struggled to really find, perhaps, in your world. Two of those. Let's get some of these as well. Just choose a load of cards, I think. We'll sit with this energy. Eagle, see from higher perspective. Heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Scarab beetle spirit magic works through you. I feel like that rainbow energy, that was a real sense of a shift and things changing, and it is like that sense that that things are going to shift. You're going to feel better. Love and let yourself be loved. I feel like this is something that you have not been doing for yourself. I do really get the sense of loss. So if you've lost someone or an animal, and you're in that grieving period, and even if it was years ago, because it can still sit with you, especially if you haven't processed it in a way that has helped you, Sometimes you close off your heart because your heart does break, it gets wounded and it's got to heal. But that defensive mechanism can be close off your heart. And it's hard then to share your love again and to be loved, to receive love. With the eagle and see it from higher perspective, it's like, let's just fly back out. Let's let your heart open. Let's let you know that you are lovable, that you can be loved, and that even though with the great sense of loss, it can be very heavy, that the healing is, and knowing that the great sense of loss is because of your great loving heart. So let your loving heart open again and feel that for yourself. And I think you'll start to feel better when you do that. Know your worth with skunk spirit. Let's make sure it's on the screen. And all my relations interconnectedness. Know your worth, most definitely. I think that's something that you've perhaps lost along the way. And it's almost like I feel like you feel it's like a personal hurt that someone has died, or something has died, or a part of you has died. In death, it's not necessarily like the person or the animal that's around you. It can also be a part of you, or a part of your life, or something that you hoped and dreamed for that just never really came true, or just you couldn't follow it through, so it died. Things, that kind of death can be a thing as well. So make sure you know your worth. Know that's just part of your journey, part of this traveling through your life, part of journeying, part of being connected to everything, part of this interconnectedness within everything. It's to learn from the past and learn from the deaths of parts of you, of your life, of people, of animals. It's all part of your journey. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say for you. We have, am I going to fit all these in here? I'm going to move them along. We have Judgment, the Lovers, Strength, King of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and the Tower. This is that breaking through. The Tower is breaking through. The Judgment, I feel like, this is just how hard you're being on yourself. That's why I get a sense of the Judgment is actually judging yourself and judging your life from others' perspective. And I really get that sense of, no, that's not something that is helpful to you. Know that you're coming out of this storm. The storm of that is passing. You have a choice to step into the new future, and it just takes a bit of strength to really move beyond the feeling of hopelessness. There's many possibilities for you, and part of it is that giving and receiving, that love and let yourself be loved. I feel like that's part of it, is opening your heart out to love so you can love and be loved. This giving and receiving energy that's there for you. Reading number 2. This is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome, reading number 3. You chose the card Dog, and I've chosen a Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle card for you, which is the rune Gibo with Swan here. It's really interesting because the dog, it is calling on you to really act with the spirit of dog-like and bring in faithfulness, trust, and loyalty, and start with yourself. Start by having faith and trust and loyalty to yourself. And interestingly, that goes really nicely with Gibo, which is, about to receive, you must release, that exchange, partnerships, and gifts, it's a lot about, so I feel what is to be healed and what is to come, what is coming for you is this chance for you to create a better partnership with yourself. I keep hearing boundaries. You know, I feel like perhaps you haven't had good boundaries. You are a very heartful person who gives so much of yourself to everyone else. And, you know, you just want to help people. And that can lead you into breakdown because you don't give to yourself enough. And it's really, this boundary is about, you know, understanding that sometimes you do need to say no thank you, you know, no thank you. That's a perfect phrase to say when you don't want to do something, and not to be hard on yourself over that as well. Because I feel like you feel if you're not giving, you're a bad person. You know, and dogs aren't like that, you know, they give, but we all give back, you know, they receive. And I think when you haven't created the right relationship with people and things in your life, you end up being the one who is just giving and never receiving. We have wishing well. Your heart's desires are taking flight joyfully and magically. Well, there you are then. I'm so excited because the hummingbirds have arrived this week. And they dance, and they are extremely territorial and for themselves, which you wouldn't, you know, they're alone a lot. And I just feel like within this hummingbird card as well is this message to you that in their, you know, they have that inner feisty strength that helps them look after number one. You know, they find the sweetness and the joyous nectar that helps them to survive. And then they, you know, then they can help others. You know, they know that they can't, because of the way their little bodies are, the way they have to work to get nectar. They know that they can't sacrifice themselves and then their babies are left without them. You know, they know they need to look after themselves first. Let's see what the other cards have to say. I think for your desires to take flight, you're going to need to focus on yourself a bit more. Let's see what else we've got. One of those and that one. And let's grab one of these as well while we're here. This is really joyous. Summer, bask in joy and light. Oh, interesting. Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. And look who's come through again. The Swan. Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. You on this? Yes, you are. We have Parrot Spirit, watch your words. And we have Cedar Sacred Medicine, protection. Interesting. So it feels like there's some good coming into your life. You know, the hummingbirds really are coming through in this message. Bask in the joy and the light. You know, they love to do that. I feel like your future can take flight. You know, whatever you've been wanting, it can take flight. But I feel like it's when you really become faithful and trustworthy and believe in yourself and really be with yourself, trusting you. So if there's been some changes and, you know, lots of things going on, trusting you, your talents, your gifts, who you are, trusting your inner strength. Watch your words is, watch your words that you're saying to yourself. Also watch how open-ended your conversations are with other people. And I like that open-ended, as I get that sense that perhaps when people are asking for something, you perhaps say no in a very open-ended way that isn't final. It's like, oh, well, maybe next week I'll be able to give you a hand, even though you actually don't want to. It's just that you can't say no, or you feel like you can't say no. Like the watch your words is a lot more about watch your words that you're saying to other people that are allowing them to take advantage of you. That's it. You know? This Swan, really interesting energy. Time for a deep dive. It's like time. I can't help but notice they're exactly the same swan, and then the flowers around, like they just perfect. It's just like there's this real emphasis on this swan energy. you know, and I feel like swans defend themselves, you know, they look after themselves. They say no when people get too close that they don't want close, you know. They look after number one and their own family first, and then they, you know, but they mate for life, you know, they share that love, they share their life. I just feel like it's time for you to see below the water and see almost, it's like it's that sense of seeing what you haven't been seeing about your life. You are protected and you can protect yourself. I feel like part of it is perhaps you become ungrounded and not rooting yourself deeply where you are with who you are. You know, you're just kind of giving your heart away to everyone and helping everyone else and not helping yourself. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say for you. Whoa. Guess they're coming too then. Oops. Yeah, you just might need to be clever about it. You know, fox energy. That kind of just being clever. You know, I know that some people kind of don't always understand what you say. And so just kind of be a bit more clever about how you're saying things as well. Oh, yes. This is you, I feel. The 5 of Cups. It's like you are starting to feel like everything's getting on top of you. Like it's really hard for you to do what you need to do. You're not trusting yourself. We have the Page of Pentacles. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this is good things coming. 2 of Cups. And the King and Queen of Cups. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this is the good stuff coming, you know, this is the good energy coming. Wow. So yeah, you feel like you're stuck in this storm and it's like everyone else is taking your energy and you just feel like you're under all that weight of that. You know, and you're not really trusting yourself and trusting that you can set yourself free. Page of Pentacles energy is a lot about the desires, your heart's desires, you know, that it's a new beginning. You know, you can start with beginner's mind and start again. You can change how things are. It doesn't need to be the way it's always been. The Wheel of Fortune, you know, there's that sense that any possibility come true when you believe it. It's like that, you know, you can change your fortune, change your future when you stop letting everyone else control what you're doing. And even I feel like it's just when you actually start believing in yourself, you know, standing up for who you are. The 2 of Cups, that's a merging of energies, and that can be relationship energies. It can also, I almost feel like this is this merging of your soul together where you actually feel your inner strength and who you are, and the energies will flow in a different way. King and Queen of Cups. This sense of new possibilities, that you have everything you need, and then there's the new possibilities. So stop looking outside of you to fix this. This is, and it's not like you're not broken, you don't need fixing. It's just more about changing your concept of how you are living your life and living your world. Faithfulness, trust, loyalty to yourself first. And when you show yourself that is where the right people will be around you, and they will be faithful, loyal, and trustworthy too. Because you will stand up for who you are, you will be who you are, you will believe in who you are, and therefore everything will flow into that energy of that trustworthiness. I just feel like perhaps you just feel like everyone's taking advantage, and it's not a mutual relationship. It's not a mutual merging of energy, you know. It's a sense that it's you know, it's you against the world. And I think really it's you against you at the moment. And when you shift that perception, that's when you're going to be able to shift your entire concept of how you're living your life. And it's just a little vital thing, and that's how you are treating yourself. And when you treat yourself right, everyone around you will treat you better too. reading number 3. This is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me.